It's been the home of the Panthers since 1996. Bank of America Stadium in Uptown Charlotte. We welcome you to EA Sports coverage of the National Football League. Here is the Spring League star, Jake Bates, set to get this one going. And off we go from Charlotte. And their drive will begin at the 30-yard line. Set to go now on 1st and 10. Right to the air from the 30 on the first play. And he's going to get this one out to the 43-yard line.
Every once in a while, it just comes down to you need somebody in the huddle to just make a play. And it wasn't a whole lot fancy here. The quarterback just dumps the ball down, a quick underneath completion, and then really it's the yards after catch that did the rest. And that's what it takes. You're not always going to have the perfect play. You're not always going to dial up the perfect play against the perfect look. Sometimes players need to make plays, and that was a good one there.
And they're going to work this down inside the 45.
This is a guy who's been doing it at a high level, Mike, for a long time. Not too many running backs finding success in the NFL past the age of 30. That's usually when they kind of ride off into the sunset, but as always, there's the exception to every rule.
And he's close to another first down as he's brought down just shy of the marker. Here's 2nd and 2. They'll run out of the gun with Henry. And they bring him down inside the 25-yard line.
2nd and short. Normally, this is a great time, Mike, to put the ball in the air and try to press the ball downfield. But in this case, they keep it on the ground. It has a similar effect. They pick up a good gain and a first down.
They'll work now on 2nd and 4. Jackson now. He's got his big target. That's Isaiah Likely. And the Ravens are going to have a 1st and goal coming up. He's out of bounds at the 2. Henry tries to bull his way in. And he's going to get stopped in the backfield. He'll take him down at the 3-yard line. So now then, 1st and goal from the 1. They'll try to sneak it here. And he will drive his way into the end zone. Lamar Jackson. Touchdown, Baltimore. Now Justin Tucker for the point after. His kick is good. And the Ravens will take a 7-0 lead. Out there is Tucker, and he'll kick this one away after the touchdown was scored. Here's Craig Reynolds to return. Now an opening past the 30. And they'll be set up well as he is past the 35-yard line. First and 10 now from the 36. First carry now for Jahmyr Gibbs. And good blocking up front, paving the way for a gain of 8 on the ground. On 2nd down, Goff. Working free downfield, it is Williams. And he will score! Jamison Williams. Touchdown, Detroit. Bates, good, with the extra point. And the Lions come right back to tie it at 7. Each team one possession, each team a score. 7-7 as they kick it off. Hardy now with the return. And he is stopped at the 25. The drive will begin there. Here's 1st and 10. From the gun, Jackson. He'll look for Flowers downfield. And he can't hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. What a good job defensively to meet him just as the ball was arriving. And it'll be 2nd down. In the shotgun, here's Jackson. He's got his tight end, Mark Andrews. And he's taken down on what should be the final play of this 1st quarter. A touchdown apiece here in the 1st quarter of play. All even on the scoreboard. And we'll return to Charlotte in a moment. So, 1st and 10 here now at the 38. Back to throw, Jackson. Now a screen set up for Henry. Into space at the 45. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield.
All right, Mike, so the way they teach these screenplays to the offensive lineman is you got to stop the defender's feet. You just don't want him to get a free, clean rush to the quarterback because you're so worried about getting out in front of the back. Make him start his rush over again before you slip out. Ball gets dumped right over the rusher's head. Bang, now you're in the open field.
A good spot here, 2nd and a yard. Throwing Jackson. A pass pulled in by Henry. And they'll take this down inside the 35. On 1st and 10, Jackson. There's a short one caught by Andrews. And he's brought down after a gain of 6 on 1st down.
The drag route is such a good way to get the ball early into the hands of your tight end and take some pressure off the quarterback and give him an easy completion. The size and the athleticism allows them to try to pick up more yards, but do it after the catch.
They'll come up now for 2nd down and 4. Jackson looking to throw. Rush comes. They're setting up the screen. And it'll be a short pickup. That's not enough for the 1st down.
Just a little slow developing on that screenplay there. It was pretty obvious to the entire defense exactly what was going on. Nobody was thinking pass. Nobody was getting back into their drops, and just nowhere for that back to go.
That is hauled in at the 5. That's his 1st reception of the ballgame, and it really comes at a good time as they get the conversion on 3rd down. From the 4-yard line, trying to punch it in. 1st down and goal. Here's a run. And he'll just get up inside those big bodies up front, and he's in. Derrick Henry. Touchdown, Ravens. Good drive. They kept the ball. Greg, they moved it effectively down the field and finished it off on the ground for the touchdown.
So often, Mike, we see teams work on a great drive to get down here close, only to settle for a field goal. But in this case, give them a lot of credit. They put a great drive together, but they're able to capitalize and finish it off with 6.
Still a little time. Final minute of this 1st half. We'll see if they can do anything with this kickoff that is coming their way. From the 6, here comes a return. Good return here. Brings it up to the 33-yard line. First and 10. They'll bring St. Brown in motion. On first and 10, here's Goff. He'll get rid of it and complete it. And they'll get about half of what they needed. It's a pickup of 5 and sets up 2nd and 5. He'll go play action with Goff. Now, deep shot for Amon-Ra. That's going to wind up incomplete. Not much time remaining. Time for one more snap here in this first half.
Well, not exactly breaking news here, Mike. They got speed on the perimeter that just not a lot of teams in the NFL have. So even though that ball falls incomplete, I think they have to continue to do it. Continue to pressure this defense and make them defend the entire field. Because as they're worried about him running by them, there is a lot of space open underneath.
From the gun, on third down, it's Goff. And that is incomplete. One final chance does not work out. Time has expired. The first half has come to an end. Okay, Coach, thanks a bunch. We'll see which team's adjustment's going to pay dividends here. Likely going to play a big role in who wins this one. Both teams ready to get back at it as we get back underway here on EA Sports. This one taken at the 7. And a solid run back there. He'll get this out past the 30-yard line. On first down, it's Goff. He'll find Montgomery out of the backfield. 12 yards on the game. That's good for a quick first down. First carry for David Montgomery. And their woes in the running game continue. He's going to be taken down behind the line.
Every team makes an emphasis on winning first down, but as a defense, when you're able to take them back for a loss, second and long, you can really become more of a pass-centric defense and really tips the scales into your favor.
Throwing on second down, Goff. Open man, the veteran, Allen Robinson. Well, that helps. It's going to be a much more manageable third down, getting some good yardage on that second down play. From the gun, it's Goff. Now pass deep for St. Brown. That is incomplete. Well read that time defensively, making it difficult downfield, and that's going to bring up a fourth down.
When you air it out like that on these big shots downfield, they're not always high percentage plays. It takes a lot of things to line up timing-wise, location of the field, accuracy of the throw to result in those big plays, but I think they've got to continue to search for those and try to generate a little bit of a spark.
They'll go for it. Here's Goff. That's taken in, and he will have the first down. Needing to make something happen, trailing here in the third quarter. They convert on fourth down. Goff with the give to Montgomery.
Penetration is the key to run defense. Stop the running back before he has a chance to get started. That's exactly how it played out here.
A second down throw for Goff. The pressure there got to him. He's hit as he threw it, and that pass falls incomplete.
They got there in a hurry, didn't they, Mike? I mean, luckily for him, he saw that free rusher coming, and at the very least was able to get that ball out to prevent the sack.
Off the play fake, here's Goff. He'll get this one complete to St. Brown. And he's out of bounds, but not until he gets inside the 25-yard line. They'll break the huddle. Coming up now for 1st and 10. Out of the shotgun, it's Goff. And he tried to fit in the slant, and it was intercepted. Picked off by Trenton Simpson.
When you find yourself in this situation, Mike, you're on defense, you're defending your own goal line, you got to take some chances. You got to try to force a turnover and make a play and get off the field. That's exactly what this defender did. Takes a chance, bets on himself, and comes away with a pick to save them some points.
They'll start this one with a 3 tight end look. They'll start out on the ground with Henry. And he's going to be brought down here on what will turn out to be the final play of the third quarter. Here's 2nd and 3 to go. This is Henry. It's a gain of 12 there. 1st down, Baltimore.
Fourth quarter, you find yourself protecting a one-possession lead. It's a fine line, Mike, between do I keep the ball on the ground, continue to work the clock, or stay aggressive, try to extend this lead to a multiple possession game. That's the balance this play caller is dealing with right now.
Jackson now to throw on 1st down. They'll try to set up the screen here. And they'll move this one down inside the 40-yard line.
A lot could go wrong anytime you decide to put the ball in the air here late in the fourth quarter as you're trying to run out the clock and protect this lead. But at the same time, I like that they haven't gone super conservative. Just handoff right, handoff left, and it just turns into tackling practice. So I like the balance of making the defense defend everything, because right now, possess the ball, protect the ball, and ultimately just run the clock out.
They'll go again here with Henry. Henry rumbles to the 1st down and more. And they'll finally run him down, but he takes it inside the 10-yard line. First and goal, and it's Henry. And he's into the end zone. That might be the knockout punch. Derrick Henry, touchdown Baltimore. That his 2nd touchdown tonight. Tucker, good on the extra point. And the Ravens will take a 21-7 lead. Out out there is Tucker, and he'll kick this one away after the touchdown was scored. Reynolds now on the return. Oh, he's got room past the 30. And they'll be set up well as he is past the 35-yard line. They'll come up for 1st and 10. To throw is Goff. That one incomplete.
Just didn't quite get enough into that ball. You see sometimes the pressure, the rush, force a quarterback to throw the ball off his back foot. And I think there was a little bit of that here at play. You have to be willing to step up, even in the face of pressure, and get enough behind that ball to put that one a little bit more on the money.
On 2nd down, Goff. He'll let this one go long for Williams. That one knocked away. It is incomplete. Very good job defensively. Stayed right with him, and will bring up 3rd down.
There's only a handful of guys in the league who legitimately have world-class speed, and he's one of them. I mean, he's the type of weapon that you 3 or 4 times a game have to just say, okay, my guy, he's faster than your guy. We're going to send him deep and let it fly. And even though that one falls incomplete, you have to continue to sprinkle that threat in because it makes everything else in your passing game that much easier.
Here's Goff. He's going to dial up another deep ball. And this will be tracked down and intercepted. Picked off by Brandon Stevens. And the Ravens will take over here just shy of the 30.
Give me a second, chat. I'll be right back.
Today's sports coverage of the NFL brings us to North Carolina and the bustling city of Charlotte as we welcome you inside Bank of America Stadium, the home of the Panthers. Here's the kicker, Jake Bates, ready to get this one underway. And off we go from Charlotte. Raheem Blackshear on the return. He'll work his way across the 25-yard line. A fresh set of downs to work with. It is first down and 10. Here's Young now to throw right away. That one caught over the middle by the rookie. And he'll be taken down up at the 40-yard line.
These curl routes, he's been running these routes since he was a young kid in Pop Warner football, and I like to call it pulling the string. You've got the defender thinking you're going downfield, and you stick that foot in the ground, work back to the quarterback, friendly to the ball, and really nice job picking up the first down.
And he's down inside the 40-yard line.
I hope we all appreciate just how difficult it is to throw the ball that well while on the run. And the way they teach it, Mike, is kind of cool. They actually teach the quarterback to disconnect your upper body from your lower body. Just keep your feet moving, and however your arm times up, just let it rip. And he does it about as well as you can ask. Up until that incompletion, they've done a really nice job on this drive, Mike, picking up fresh sets of downs. And typically, throwing the ball on first down is a great way to do it. But now they find themselves in 2nd and 10. Do you keep it in the air and try to get the first down here? Or is the idea to just make third down manageable and take your chances picking up a key third down?
They need to get it to the 27. This is third down. From the gun, it's Young. That's caught. Left side. It's complete. That's catch 3 just on this drive. And it gets his team a first down.
Third downs, Mike, those are quarterback downs. Those are the downs where you tend to find yourself in a must-pass situation, and that's where the top guys in the league are still capable of overcoming it. So throw the ball downfield, be accurate with the ball. Winning on third downs, that is a recipe for success.
And he's close to another first down as he's brought down just shy of the marker.
Just take what the defense is giving you. When you can stay ahead of the chains and just take these easy pitch and catch throws underneath, hitch routes, quick game, now it puts you in a lot more favorable down and distances to eventually attack this defense a little bit more downfield.
Now this looks like a design run, and no place to go. He's hit and taken down behind the line. From the gun here on third down, it's Young. He's got his receiver, it's Jones. And the Panthers are going to be set up with a 1st and goal as they're able to convert there on 3rd and 3. 10 yards to pick up there, and that'll get him a new set of downs. Great chance to make an early statement here on the road. It is 1st and goal. And he will take it in himself. Bryce Young, touchdown Carolina. A terrific way to start this one. Not only a touchdown, but a nice long march down the field. Makes it a long walk back to the bench for the defense.
Mike, that's about as good as you can imagine starting a game offensively. To be able to sustain that many plays and be able to cap it off with a touchdown, that is a dream start for this offense.
And that one is no good. He missed the extra point. So much for 7 to start. It is a 6-0 game. So the lead stands at 6-0 as this one is kicked off. Now return coming from the 7. And this will work out quite well. He'll get it all the way out to the 30-yard line. So after one, the Panthers off to the early. They'll come up here, 1st and 10. Here's the first carry for the Iowa State Cyclone, David Montgomery. He'll manage to get 2, maybe 3 on that carry. The veteran Josie Jewell there for the stop. On play action, Goff. Down the field, he's got St. Brown. And he will go all the way. Amon-Ra St. Brown. Touchdown, Lions. Now Jake Bates on for the extra point. He gets it to go, and the Lions move out in front by a point. It's 7-6. So after the touchdown, it's Bates to kick this one away. Velus Jones now on the return. Nice job by the return team as he takes it across the 30-yard line. Three tight ends in the game to start the drive. Off the play fake. Here's Young. This is intercepted. Picked off by Amik Robertson. And his offense is going to be all set up with a short field and a chance to extend their lead.
So the first part of any interception is just end up with the ball in your hands, right? That's what every defensive coordinator wants. But anytime you can get yards on the return, that's just an added bonus. And that's what we see here. There's a little space, does a great job securing the catch, and all of those yards just set up for better field position as their offense takes the field.
Here's a handoff to Montgomery. And he's brought down after a gain of a couple. 2nd down and 8. On play action, he'll set up to... the blitz overwhelming the offensive line, and down he goes. Off play action, he'll set up to throw. That one on target to Williams. He's got it. And he will score. Jameson Williams. Touchdown, Detroit. A terrific play all the way around, finished off by the receiver, who not only made the grab, but Greg turned it up and takes it into the end zone.
And that's the tricky part, Mike, that transition from receiver to runner. And in this case, he does it flawlessly. Look the ball in, secure the catch, and then get upfield and get yourself in the end zone.
So after the touchdown, it's Bates to kick this one away. On the return, here comes Blackshear. And they'll be set up well as he is past the 35-yard line. So they come to the line for 1st down and 10. They'll go play action with Young. That's taken it. It's Xavier Leggett. And he's down on the other side of midfield. Mark him at the 48-yard line.
Really nice throw there. The ability to throw the ball out on the perimeter. Yes, arm strength and all of that, but it's also timing. The timing of the route. When is that wide receiver coming out of his break to deliver that ball accurately as his head comes around? If the ball's thrown too early, the receiver's not ready. If the ball's thrown too late, that's when disaster strikes.
Young hands it to Hubbard. And a nice tackle in the open field limits the gain to only one. Here's a 2nd and 9. On play action, Young. No chance at all. He'll go down.
With the right personnel, the safety position is like the ultimate chess piece, right?
Today's sports coverage of the NFL has us in a very rainy Kansas City, Missouri at venerable GEHA Field at Arrowhead Stadium.
Here's Cairo Santos now ready to get this one started. And into a sea of red, we're underway in Kansas City. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. First carry for the all-pro running back, it's Josh Jacobs. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down.
It always helps when you get great run support from your safeties, and when you get one who can actually read the play and get upfield and shut it down before it gets going, that's exactly what you're looking for.
And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really.
Pass to the sideline and pulled in. And he is going to have the Packers first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
I think everyone in the stadium saw that big hit coming.
And I, as a former defensive back, have to admit I'm a little disappointed. He actually was able to hold on to the ball. He brought the lumber on that play. Give my man a whole lot of credit for taking the hit and possessing the football.
And picking up the first down. And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. Kevin Byard up to make the tackle. It shows you right there, he can do more than just cover in the secondary from that free safety position.
Yeah, the evolution of the position has really been significant, hasn't it? Because a lot of teams no longer have a free safety, strong safety designation. They just have safeties. So wherever the ball is, one can be close to the line of scrimmage, one can be deep, and vice versa. On that play, how about that tackle we just saw? Pretty nice.
Now third down and 7. Love now. He's going to launch this deep for Watson. Rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked up by Jaquan Brisker. And the Bears are going to get the football here as they force the INT on the game's opening drive.
They may have thrown the interception, obviously less than ideal, but I think they also sent a message that they're going to push the ball downfield in this one.
Yeah, not afraid to take their shots right away, huh? What was that, like a 9-9-9 route? 9 meaning go? Just went ahead and went for it. Didn't work out so well because it certainly appeared the defense was prepared. But I'm with you. Okay, so it didn't work this time. Doesn't mean we won't try it again later.
First carry for DeAndre Swift. And he'll be taken down at about the 45. Second down and 6 now. Play action. Now Williams.
He's going to look deep for more. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be third down.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Looking to throw is Williams. Able to find the open man. That's complete.
Yeah, he's got this to the 30 before being taken down. How about 25 yards on third down? They'll take it. After getting that turnover on the first drive of the game, you'd hate to just stall out the momentum, go 3 and out. They're able to avoid that there.
Yeah, we talk about complementary football all the time, but I think it's a little bit deeper than that. Defense went out, forced a turnover, gave the ball to the offense. It's now the offense's responsibility to pay that off for them, to show respect to them. Hey, you guys got the turnover. We appreciate it. They want to continue their drive.
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's second down. To throw, Williams. Had his hands on it, but dropped it. The rookie making a little bit of a rookie mistake, third down. Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains. From the shotgun, a throw for Williams. Trying to fit it into Moore, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Eric Stokes. And the Packers are going to take over at their own 28-yard line. About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. Remember last time out they threw the interception on their first drive. Good news, their defense backed them up, so it's still 0-0 here as they begin their second possession.
Yeah, and one great way to judge a defense, how do they handle what we call sudden change? When all of a sudden, you know, it goes against their offense and have to run out in the field and try and put out the fire. Give this one great kudos for getting out there and not letting that interception lead to points. Excellent job by them defensively.
Throwing. Love. Short throw. He's got Kraft. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. 13 yards on his first catch. It's a first down as well.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space. And it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
They go bootleg. Love. Pass caught. It's Romeo Doubs. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. We're scoreless after one. The Packers with the football here to begin the second quarter, as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Play fake. Here's Love. He has it complete to Christian Watson. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Christian Watson, 40 yards. And the Packers post the first points of the ball game as they take the lead here in this second quarter.
On here, Brandon McManus for the point after. And it's good to make it 7-0 Packers. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away.
Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others, where they think they have an advantage. Dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving. I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
Now a 2nd and 10. Off the play fake, it's Williams.
Eluding the pressure right.
He'll fire deep, looking for more.
That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown, Chicago. DJ Moore, 66 yards.
And the Bears are able to strike quickly here as they are in for 6.
A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good, and we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away.
And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked by Kevin Byard. And the Bears will have solid field position here as they take over at their 45-yard line.
Okay, partner. No surprise to you. I'm going to look at this from the defensive perspective. In the rain, you have to be more cautious trying to cover passing routes. Why? The offense knows where they're going with the football. The receiver knows the route he's going to run. You have to make sure you keep your footing underneath you.
From the gun, here's Williams.
Packer pressure, and down he goes. It'll be a loss of 10, and it'll bring up 2nd.
Working out of the gun, Williams.
It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
And this drive was almost over before it began thanks to a great defensive effort. Sack on first down, followed by an incompletion, one more good rep, and they get off the field.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
To throw, it's Williams. He's got his target. That's complete. Down the right sideline.
And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown.
Rome Odunze.
65 yards. And the Bears have taken the lead.
Well, Charles, kind of the future of this franchise on display right there. You had a rookie throwing it, a rookie catching it, and taking it into the end zone.
Could you imagine if we were in the owner's box right now and we could look at the front office and see the grins on their faces to see the present, making plays, and knowing what the future will bring with these youngsters going out and making big-time moments happen for this team.
And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26.
About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. That 7-0 lead of theirs short-lived as they've now given up 2 straight touchdowns to fall behind by 7.
Yeah, but no cause for discouragement here. Yeah, they've fallen behind, but haven't they proven that they can go down and score? So what was the formula that got them down there the first time? Get back to something close to that, and maybe they can get this game tied up.
Love. That is incomplete.
Certainly appeared to take away his first read, and by the time he tried to look elsewhere and find an open target, the coverage was too good. That one falls incomplete.
Love from the gun. On the move to his left. And he's going to be intercepted for the third time thus far. Tyreek Stevenson picks it off. And the Bears will take over here as they get it up to the 43-yard line. Well, I'm not sure that the wheels, Charles, are coming completely off, but they're shaking a little bit. That's 3 interceptions, and now interceptions here on back-to-back drives.
And I think about what a Hall of Fame coach told me, that he always told his teams, when a mistake happens, just move on to the next play. Let it go. Hard to do when you're throwing this many interceptions. That's exactly the attitude that has to be adopted.
Now they can't bring him down. And he'll take this all the way down to the 15-yard line. A lot of great quarterbacks from USC. Here's another one. The rookie's got a first down. Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. To the air, Williams. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
One of the great coaches said football is really a simple game. Rush theirs, protect yours. And he's talking about those guys throwing the football. In this situation, the rush one, hitting the quarterback and forcing him into an incompletion.
Throwing is Williams. Touchdown Bears! DJ Moore with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Bears go up by 2 touchdowns. Santos with the extra point, and it's now 21-7. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is...
Now the ball comes loose, and this is picked up by the Bears. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line. And so the last 3 drives, you've got 2 interceptions and a fumble. I think we know why they're losing right now.
Without question, and we've seen the evidence, just what you talked about there. If they take care of the football, number one, maybe they're not having this deficit. And number 2, maybe they actually have the lead.
Following the fumble recovery, Williams. Second quarter action with 1:59 remaining. And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground. Here's 2nd and 10. Here's Williams. He finds his target, Allen. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down. Looking to throw. Williams. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
He already came through for them on this drive. No surprise that they were hoping he could do it again.
2nd and 10. To the air once more. Williams. And he's going to be taken down. Back around the 35-yard line. He couldn't get away. He'll wind up losing a dozen yards, a 12-yard loss, and it brings up third. Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, what, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
And this is off target to the left. Didn't get there anyway. It's no good, and this will remain a 2-touchdown game.
And now two problems as I see it. First, you missed the kick, which granted was a long one. But second, you set the other guys up with great field position and enough time to maybe get down.
And for the fourth time tonight, it's an interception. Kyler Gordon picks it off. And they will score a pick six for a Bears touchdown. And that pick six, Charles, that moves it up now to a 3-touchdown advantage. A great individual defensive effort there to continue what has been a very lopsided first half.
And I better buckle in my seatbelt, right? Because you know, as a former DB, when I see a pick six, I'm up and jumping up and down watching it. Yeah, I'm supposed to be neutral, but those kind of plays, they excite me every time. They are in absolute control in this one. Nice play there.
Now, after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
So we've hit intermission. It's halftime. This is the NFL, and it's a presentation of EA Sports. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, still a good return. They'll start the drive right around the 37. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. Williams throwing to start the drive. And the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Operating from the gun, Williams. Under pressure, they got him again. Quay Walker able to drop him that time for his second sack of the evening. Here is third and quite a ways. Operating from the gun, Williams. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up fourth down.
That's some good closing speed there defensively because that looked open for a minute. But that's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
On fourth down, here's Williams. That's to his running back, complete. And unable to break away. They stop him a few yards shy. A surprising move to go for it, and predictably, at least somewhat predictably, it doesn't pay off. And the Packers are going to get the football back in excellent field position. Love, they go play action now. And my goodness, another interception. Down the left sideline. And they will score a pick six for a Bears touchdown. And Charles, for this offense, those interception woes they kind of had in the first half have now followed them into the second half. And for this defense, they take advantage, turn that into a pick six.
And that defense is in a spot now where they're thinking about ways to close this game out. And as confidently as they've been playing, I expect them to do exactly that.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. It's a game that they would rather probably forget about, at least to this point, Charles. And one reason is turnovers. The turnover on the last drive, they had the issue in the first half as well. And that's really, unfortunately for them, helped to put this game out of reach.
And you know they won't want to admit it to themselves. But we know that winning the game is pretty much out of the picture now. So their bottom line is, how do they play a clean game the rest of this one, right? Take care of the football, no more turnovers, and see how that works.
Here's Love. A short throw to Musgrave. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. It'll go down as a gain of 6. And now it's 3rd and 4. Love looking to throw it. That is caught. And he's going to have a Packers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Out of the shotgun, it's Love. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
I'm getting the sense that this offense is getting frustrated. Here we are into the 3rd quarter, and they've had plenty of opportunities to get in sync. Thus far, that hasn't happened. They're looking for answers both on the sidelines and in the huddle looking at each other.
His throw incomplete. Well, we've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. And I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away. And you can tell just by looking at them that this offense is a frustrated unit. Things are really unraveling here, and as a head coach, time to earn your paycheck. You've got to find a way to keep it together as that brings up another 4th down.
The 3 straight incompletions, they don't care. That hasn't dissuaded them. They're going to go for it on 4th. They're indeed going for it as they look to throw. Dancing to his left. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. A curious decision to go for it, but it pays off with a first down.
Okay, ready? Let's go.
On play action. Love to throw. That's taken in by Kraft. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. The end result, 21 yards.
I tell you what, it looks like he's shaking off that pick six just fine. It's not just defensive backs that have to have short memories. Quarterbacks utilize that as well. A much more confident throw right there.
Ready.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. A good effort there from Gervon Dexter. He drops him behind the line. A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. Now Love. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And stacked a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Jacobs is in. Touchdown, Packers.
Oh, what a luxury it is to be able to call a bowling ball like Josh Jacobs down near the goal line. 5'10", 220 pounds, and he's not afraid to get in there and get the tough yards. He finishes off this drive with a touchdown run.
The Packer offense and Jordan Love staying out there, so they're going to try to go for 2. They'll try to run it with Jacobs. And he will find the end zone again. So he gets the touchdown and the 2-point conversion. And that'll cut this deficit down a little bit further. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. Well, the win for them at this point seems pretty assured. I mean, still a decent amount of time left here in the fourth quarter, Charles, but you got the football, you're up 3 scores. They have to be feeling really good. It's caught inside the 25. A huge play there for Chicago. 48 yards.
And this has been the story all night long. They just came out firing and have not backed off, even with the big fourth quarter lead. Here's another completion for big yardage.
Looking to throw is Williams. And that is caught. Touchdown, Bears. Keenan Allen, a 24-yard touchdown. And the Bears are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Santos able to tack on the extra point, and that stretches the lead all the way up to 27. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. Well, now how about this return? And a great return, solid field position. He's up all the way to the 45-yard line.
Even after that big-time return, it's not looking great for them today. But if nothing else, even if the miracle doesn't happen, they can turn to this play and say, hey, we can move forward. Maybe it's a building block for the rest of the season.
Throw right side, hauled in by Dobbs. That's a gain of 4 as we slip inside of 4 minutes left in regulation. Now a 2nd and 6. Throwing. Love. Defensively, you look at the numbers. Another incomplete passer we just saw, and they're under 200 yards passing for the game, so they've done their job on that side of the ball.
Yeah, recently I was actually working a game where a quarterback had a streak of 5 straight games without a 200-yard game, and that was a big talk both in his town and amongst his team. How do we get the passing game going? So big credit to them holding them under 200.
And now here is another interception picked by Kevin Byard. Well, all I can do up here is just shake my head. I mean, 6 interceptions. I cannot imagine what he's thinking between the ears right now.
Well, just think of how it is for his teammates, because after the first few, you know they're going over to him, hey, we'll get them next time. Now they're probably a little bit frustrated. And if you're a receiver, you're thinking to yourself, any ball that's in the air, you become receiver and defensive back. You've got to go compete for the ball. So
rush coming, and he's taken down. He couldn't get rid of it. He takes a sack for a loss of 6 to bring up 2nd down. Historically, this is such a tough, loud venue, but you can hear a pin drop right now. A lot of fans long gone, not used to seeing a lopsided score like this. To throw, Williams. This will be caught downfield by Moore. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. The big gainer there on the catch and run. 37 yards.
Even with the big lead here in the 4th, it still bombs away. And frankly, it's working. Why should they stop? Go ahead and keep firing away and gaining those yards.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. Flushed out right. And give him another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues. He has really settled in throwing the football, and that touchdown here in the 4th quarter gives him a pretty comfortable cushion.
He may be a rookie, but he's playing like 4th quarter, and the QBing is easy. How about this guy? Youngster, not worried about anything, just cutting it loose and having fun.
Now, after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And able to get this out to the 25. About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
And he's just throwing the ball up for grabs now. Fortunately, that one going to fall incomplete. Love from the gun on 3rd down. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a 1st down. Well, I mean, look, obviously there's no 20 or 30-point play in that playbook, but they can try to end things here on a positive note despite trailing big, and that looks like what they're trying to do here by pushing the ball downfield.
Well, let me go with the heavy cliche then, partner. Just control what you can control right now, and all they can control here is how their final plays develop.
To pass, here's Jordan Love. And my goodness, another interception. Kyler Gordon picks it off. And they will score a pick-6 for a Bears touchdown. Well, what has been a fantastic game for this defense has been rough for this offense, and certainly a signal caller, Charles, that's thrown all these interceptions. Another one there, and this one taken all the way back for the score.
Partner hoping they're holding a nice little spot in the post-game highlights to show this rip of interceptions and great plays this group has made. They've been on it from snap 1.
Santos with the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick-6. And now the kick is away. Pass midfield, look out. And he'll return this one all the way onto the other side of the field.
Even after that big-time return, it's not looking great for them today. But if nothing else, even if the miracle doesn't happen, they can turn to this play and say, hey, we can move forward. Maybe it's a building block for the rest of the season.
Love back to it here after the pick-6. Well, I kind of got to give him credit. Another incompletion there, yes, but he's still trying to make plays outside the pocket.
Yeah, he's been hemmed in for much of the game. How about him getting outside there? And that's what you want to see from your quarterback. He's not giving up on this game, so every other player in the field has to say to himself, I can't give up either.
And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's third down.
They have to like what they've done defensively here at the outset of this drive. They forced a couple of incomplete passes, bring up a 3rd and 10. Don't be surprised to bring a little pressure on this snap.
To throw now. Here's Love. He's got his target. That's complete. And he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late. But he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man. And CD, they just haven't had a whole lot to cheer about here. But it may be cliche, but give them credit for this. They've continued to fight and scratch and claw, and they get the touchdown here in the 4th quarter.
And I'm okay with that cliche, all right? Maybe it'll alleviate the sting a little bit because at least they can look in the mirror and realize they fought all the way through. Horrible game for them. Not one they'll want to remember, but at least they'll keep their heads up and have some pride when they leave this stadium.
After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And checking the timeouts. They do have 2 defensively, but no real need to use them as they're not going to be able to stop the clock after that. But their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out because this one, it was over a long time ago.
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Quay Walker. And into the end zone. It's a pick 6 and a Packer touchdown. This game's still fairly well in hand, but I think now you go conservative, don't you? Go into your shell and just run the football?
I think you have to, but you also have to tell your backs, make sure you're really protecting the football because you're going to run into a stacked defensive front, which is why they were throwing the football before, trying to make sure they just get their backs, really beat up in that situation. Now, good luck to them.
They'll try to run it with Jacobs, and he is going to be stopped short of the goal line. Oh, they'll mark him inside the 1. He just couldn't keep churning those extra few inches, and the 2-point attempt is turned aside. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And not the first time that they're coming back out off of a turnover, but the last one really hurt, Charles, with that pick 6.
And it feels like the whole team's infected right now, doesn't it? It's not just been one person. It's kind of been a group effort where the mistakes have happened. Can they put that aside, kind of start over, and put together a nice drive?
And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off by Jair Alexander. And he'll return this ball across midfield to the 47-yard line. Certainly not what he was hoping for, Charles. That's now 3 interceptions in this ball game.
But there's a lot of knowledge to be gleaned every time you throw an interception if you do things the right way. And hasn't there been a pretty darn good quarterback along the way who threw a lot of interceptions early, learned from them, and became great later?
Who would that be?
That'd be one Peyton Manning. Threw 28 his rookie year. That's the NFL record. How'd things turn out for him?
I think okay. He's the guy in all the commercials now, right?
Yeah, I think he's doing okay.
And nearly another interception. Well, it would have been his third of the game, but this time he couldn't hang on.
Well, these guys are not going to go out with their tails between their legs. They're going to keep taking their shots until the clock's at triple zeros. But that one, like a lot of others, winds up incomplete.
Play action this time with Love. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
A couple of quick incompletions, and now they're just one more away from getting off the field. They've got options now. Could they dial up a blitz here or just drop everyone into coverage to crowd the throwing lanes?
Love.
Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he's going to have a Packers first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. I'll tell you, far from ideal conditions to play in, but neither offense has had much trouble. Plenty of points to go around. First and 10.
Love now. Escaping the pressure right. And that is incomplete. Stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. Now McManus will line up for the field goal. On the left hash, this from 48 yards. And this one's not close. Not even close. Short and to the right, it's no good. And they will remain well behind.
Now, if this was a clear day in September, I'd say this is well within his range. I'd feel very confident about this kick, but let's be honest about it. In these elements, the difficulty level gets ratcheted up by at least a factor of 5.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense.
Well, they came into this one with a vision, Charles, and it has played out exactly as they had hoped, if not even better. They've got the huge lead here, and now the football for the final moments of the fourth.
Yeah, and it was apparent that they were the better team, right? We figured that out pretty early. But give them a lot of credit for staying with it. They didn't stumble around out there. They didn't create a lot of errors for themselves because they were the superior team. They took care of business and closed them out pretty quickly.
Well, partner, under the lights in primetime, this offense, they gave the nation quite a show, putting up that many points to come away with what will certainly be a memorable win for them.
And, Brandon, I think